Welcome to Out of the Box from Hudson County Community College. In these podcasts, we bring you timely discussions about education, people, programs, events, issues, and hopefully solutions that affect the education and enrichment of the people of Hudson County. I'm Chris Reber, president of Hudson County Community College and your podcast host. We're here to discuss a program that we're particularly proud of. We're proud of a lot of things here, but this is a huge point of pride for us. It's our Hudson Helps Resource Center, or just Hudson Helps, which is a term that really describes our rich culture of care in support of our students and our college's mission. Joining me today are Katherine Morales, who's director of the Hudson Helps Resource Center. Thanks for being here, Kat.
Hi, Dr. Reber. It's a pleasure being here.
And also joining me is Doreen Pontius, who's director of mental health counseling and wellness. Doreen, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we're delighted to be joined by a student, soon to be a graduate of Hudson County Community College, Hannah Allen. Hannah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Reber.
Let's talk about the Hudson Helps Resource Center. I'm going to start with you, Kat. You're the director of the center. Tell us a bit about what we do in Hudson Helps, what we offer.
Sure. So we offer more so like wraparound holistic support services to our students. Our center offers quite a lot of things, and we always partner with mental health and counseling as well. So that's kind of just like the basics that we go around. Every student is different, so depending the student and the need that we are addressing at that time, the services could also be different as well.
Tell us a little bit about the services, if you could sort of elaborate on what kinds of services do
Absolutely.
we offer?
So we offer case management support to our services, my department in particular. So the students could be connected to any of these government assistance, so SNAP, WIC, housing assistance. Or directly on campus, we have our food pantries. So we have one on Journal Square, and we also have one at the North Hudson campus. The students are allowed to visit the pantry and take whatever they need. We also have a career closet where it offers our professional attire to students. It's fully theirs to keep. It's free. The students usually visit the career closet if they are in need of professional attire for an internship, a job, formal. They could visit for any given reason, and they'll be able to take some items as well.
It's really a compendium of wraparound services to help students in every part of their life. We have, as a college community, been really focused over the last now 6 years on supporting every student and removing barriers, usually barriers related to whole life challenges that get in the way of our students' ability to finish their education. And so as a college community, as we have tried to work together to understand how can we remove more barriers, get more students, not just into our community, but to the achievement of their goals, to graduation, to transfer to four-year universities, to gainful employment, whatever their goals are. How can we move the needle and help more students succeed? And we came to realize as we were looking at data and we were considering best practices across the country that our greatest point of pride as a comprehensive urban community college is also the greatest challenge. And that is largely our students are the first in their families to attend higher ed, to be pursuing a post-secondary degree. They tend to come from families that don't have a lot of extra income. So they are experiencing financial challenges. Many of our students report suffering from housing insecurity, food insecurity, even homelessness. Our students are typically, because of some of the things that I've mentioned, they're doing things like working full-time while attending college full-time. They're raising children or taking care of elderly family members while attending college. Many of our students don't speak English well. They don't speak it as a first language. Some of our students begin here not speaking English at all. And I can go on, right? So think about this. We are so inspired by our students given all of the balls that they're juggling and all of the challenges that they're encountering, and when they graduate, when they transfer, when they move on, they're incredibly successful. Our students go on to Ivy League institutions. They have wonderful careers, and the effects of that go way beyond the students themselves. That affects their families, that affects their communities. And so, as we came to more fully appreciate the challenges students are facing and what we as an institution need to do to help them navigate those challenges, it became clear to us, you know, it's not just about important things like offering tutoring support and having the library open long hours, the kinds of things that in post-secondary education we always tend to focus on when we talk about academic success. Those are important things. But if you don't know where your next meal is coming from, if you're having trouble paying the rent, uh, those issues have to be addressed in order to move forward. So out of all of that, this is sort of an organic um, evolution of what came to be the Hudson Helps Resource Center. And oh, by the way, the pandemic happened in the middle of all this, right? Uh, so this idea continues to grow and manifest itself in the lives and the success of our students. We are offering this compendium of services to help students navigate every kind of challenge that we know they navigate, right? So we even offer emergency funding assistance. So if a student has a flat tire or their electricity is turned off, it's not hopefully going to derail their education. We provide assistance to support them. The food pantry I have to always mention is such a beautiful thing, in part because we have a nationally ranked culinary program, and our students and faculty chefs now for several years, starting during the pandemic and moving forward, they're preparing gourmet meals as part of their academic program, and those are then frozen in our food pantries, and students can come in and take as many of those as they want, no questions asked. They can take them home to their kids, um, and then helping them identify resources in the community they might not be aware of, funding resources and other resources. And a big piece of this too isn't just the physical resources, but it's mental health and social and wellness resources, which causes me to turn to you, Doreen, because you are the director of our mental health counseling and wellness center. And this is a huge part of what I think of when we say Hudson Helps, um, helping students and other community members who need support in the way of social work, mental health counseling. Tell us a little bit about what you and your team do.
Well, we provide access to mental health counseling services both in person and remote. For the last 6 months now, we have been able to expand that to provide 24-hour access, meaning Saturday night, 10 o'clock crisis. Obviously, the campus, we're not open, but that doesn't mean a student can't get access. We have partnered with UWill as well as Talk Campus. UWill is a remote service that provides licensed clinical counselors to allow students to get the mental health support they need at all times, on the weekend, evenings. So we're on campus, but we've extended that reach. During the pandemic, I always laugh, I had the introduction of trying to provide services remote, and I partnered with Talk Campus, which was a global-wide chat wellness provider that connected students with other students. Because what we're learning is that we all our students feel the same, whether they're at four-year schools to university to community college, is we're struggling with these barriers and they impact our functioning. Someone asked me just recently, said, you know, what do you think this impacts a student's success? And I said it's the number one reason why students are not successful, is that if you are not able to concentrate on your studies because you're stressed or anxious or depressed, overwhelmed, trying to, juggle life. How do you sit in a classroom and be open to that learning? So my team provides students the option to talk about what's going on and talk about, how we can help them better cope, and learn how to become confident in becoming who they're meant to be, which is successful. Being a community college student myself, and I call it first generation, but I guess I'm really not, because my dad, after he left Vietnam, got to come to Jersey City State College on the veterans benefits, and he just went to take classes because it was fun. But I didn't have that guidance, and I think that's what mental health does, is we give students the guidance and the courage to take
Right.
the steps they need to take.
And who wouldn't feel stress when you're navigating the kinds of challenges that I mentioned and trying to get an education?
Right.
And so we strongly believe as a community that coming forward and getting support for issues like anxiety, mental health, wellness, that's a sign of strength, and it's really part of the core curriculum, really, in terms of what we do to help get students to the finish line.
Yes.
So you've talked about the services we offer in partnership with others that include 24/7 support, and these are live conversations
Live conversations with a human being.
that a student may have with someone who knows where.
Most of the students will speak with a counselor that's licensed in the state of New Jersey. And, we would provide those services confidential. We also kind of talk about stigma because, we know stigma plays a role in students asking for help. You just said something before, is it takes courage. It takes strength to say, I need help. And when a student gets to that point of saying, I need the help, we're here to help them non-judgmentally, to talk about how we want them to be successful and normalize it, because it's okay to not be okay.
So we take pride in being what we call a stigma-free campus. Tell us about that.
So when I interviewed for this position as the director, my previous boss asked me what I would bring to the college. And the first thing I looked around and said, I'm going to make this a stigma-free campus. No community college had become a stigma-free campus. Stigma-free meant providing educational programs and access to mental health services, but also understanding it and teaching people about mental health and how it impacts someone, and teaching people how to have the conversations being comfortable. So I was able to organize workshops and partner with other community partners to provide support to students, but also educate our staff and faculty on how to respond to a student they think that might be struggling. We really saw that during the pandemic. I heard it from professors. I heard it from any staff of how students were struggling, and I used that as the launching pad to create a culture of acceptance and understanding and awareness. And I approached the county of Hudson, and I applied and showed proof of what I've done for our community, and they awarded us the declaration of being a stigma-free campus.
Which means that you meet certain standards.
Yes.
And we've worked with the Jed Foundation in New York, which really has provided critical support for our development of a strategic plan for mental health, counseling, wellness, and continuing to grow and refine how we can holistically support our students. We talked about 24/7 virtual assistance, but one of the things we've learned in all of this work is it takes a village, right? Coming together with others to offer the support, it provides really exponentially stronger, more comprehensive supports than anything we might do on our own as a college. So I'd like you, Doreen, to speak briefly about the partnerships we have with MSW programs.
When I started, it was a very small department. I was one person, and I think 4 months later, the pandemic hit, and my phone was ringing off the hook. My supervisor had the foresight that something terrible was going to happen. And my last week on campus, she handed me my phone a computer and a camera, and she said, I want it all set up. So my office line that rang at my office rang at my desk at home. So there was never, Hudson never lost contact, and that phone didn't stop. Um, I had previously worked in a clinic where I supervised master level and graduate level interns from social work programs, and I contacted a couple of old contacts and asked them if they would be willing to send more interns to work with our students. And I started supervising graduate level mental health interns to come in and, provide support, counsel them, and that allowed me to expand our reach. Initially just started with NYU, and then it went to Rutgers, and we've grown to NJCU, their undergraduate program, Fordham. So we've expanded our reach, and we have a full-fledged intern program that I'm very proud of.
As a result of our partnerships with MSW programs, how many social workers are currently on ground working with our students?
Right now we have 12.
I think a little more.
So folks,
12 to 15
I want to, I
per
just want to say,
year.
I've been blessed to spend my whole career working in higher education. I've never seen anything like this. By way of partnership, we have 12 students pursuing their master's degree in social work who are going to be full-time social workers here on ground, working one-on-one individually in support of students. Obviously, that's incredibly helpful to our students. There's no substitute, right, in this work for one-on-one support and engagement. But we could never do it financially on our own. These students are here as part of their academic program. It's part of the curriculum that's leading them to get an MSW degree. And they tell us again and again that it's an incredibly rich experience, learning experience.
I'm proud to say all of the social work interns what we have had that have graduated are all licensed social workers now, including my second year intern second year working here. She was a Hudson County Community College graduate that came home.
And both of you, Doreen and you, Kat, you're both licensed social workers, which informs your work and how you support our students through a whole team. And so, like they say, it takes a village. But all this is about our students, right? This is all part of how this community, has stepped up, and by working together and by partnering, we've been able to do probably more than the sum of the parts of all of the work directed at our students. So let's talk with our student who's here today.
Yes.
Hannah Allen. Hannah, you are majoring in human services.
Yes, I am pre-social work, so
Hey,
I
there
will
you
be
go.
there soon.
Pre-social work, and you're going to graduate in May
Yes,
of 24.
I am. Yes.
And what do you hope to do after Hudson?
I want to work with children at risk youth. When I graduate here, I am going to go to Rutgers. I'm going to go for their master's program in social work. So that's the plan to go from here.
So you'll get a BSW followed by an MSW?
Yes,
Fantastic. And will that be at Newark or New Brunswick?
it will be at Newark.
Newark.
Yes.
Birdie told me that you're a student parent.
Yes, I am. I have 3 children. I'm a full-time student and a part-time worker here.
I'm amazed at how you and how your peers how you can raise 3 children
Yeah.
and work and earn your degree and go on. You're going to go on and get a master's degree.
Yes, I am.
You're an absolute inspiration. And if I had been in your shoes when I was doing this, I wouldn't have succeeded. I am confident that I would not have succeeded.
Thank you.
So you inspire us. You're also a peer leader here.
Yes, I am.
Tell us about that.
I like to look at it as kind of like a student advisor where I interact with students. I'm like one of the first faces they see. When they come into enrollment services, I can help you fill out the application. After that, I can tell you like some of the documents that you may need it. I set you up for your testing. I also worked inside the advising office where I can help students plan their schedules, give them the advice of, they may ask about some questions about some of the classes. I feel that when some of the students, when they talk to us, what makes it different from the actual academic advisors is that I'm a student, so I can kind of relate to them and be like, yeah, I took this course, this was okay. They asked a little information about like the professors. I tell them I have not had not one bad professor here yet. All of them was very understanding, especially with me being a parent. No one gave me no slack because I didn't want that, but they understood. So I definitely was able to give them that kind of feel being a student to a student.
That's phenomenal. Can you provide a student's perspective on what Hudson Helps is and the importance of
yeah.
it here, and maybe what you hear other students say?
Well, Hudson Helps, it's in the name. Like Hudson helped me. Everything that Doreen said and Katherine said, I am literally, they helped me. I've used the career college. Last semester was my first internship, and where I was interning at was at Save Latin America, and I needed to dress kind of business casual on certain days, so I made an appointment. I was able to get it right on the spot. Like she said, the outfits, well, the clothes that we was able to get, we keep them. If we didn't find anything, they provided us with like a gift card so that we can go out and get more clothes if we need it. Also, like you guys said, I am a parent. I have 3 children. Sometimes it can get overwhelming juggling school, parent life, and work. So I've used the mental health and counseling, and I would say because of them and being able to talk to them even outside of school hours, that definitely helped me my semesters here. Also, I lost my father recently, so that was something else that like we cannot predict the future, and I couldn't say that was going to happen right in the beginning of the semester. So knowing that I had someone to talk to, that really helped me a lot. And then it wasn't even just one session. They told me that I can get a couple sessions and they could space them out or we can keep them together. So that really helped me a lot. And just even being a student, that's going to be in the field of social work, like Doreen said, stigma-free, I had to put that behind me because sometimes even just being a parent, I feel like I don't give myself that time to, I guess, be human and break down and be like, hey, this is too much. So definitely I had to be that, because if I'm going to sit in front of someone that I'm counseling, how can I tell them if I didn't use it?
Sure.
So definitely I went for it, and it helped me. So Hudson Helps. It helps.
Thank you for sharing that, and yeah, you truly are an inspiration. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
As if you didn't have enough to do already.
Yeah.
You're involved in the life of the college. Just
I am.
last week, we celebrated the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King
Yes.
in a really inspirational event that featured a keynote address by Ndaba Mandela, Nelson
Yes.
Mandela's grandson. You were on the planning committee.
Yes, I was. I was one of the speakers. I introduced the Black National Anthem, Lift
Yep.
Every Voice and Sing. So that was definitely an experience. Later on, what I thought about was when my kindergarten teacher, I was about 6 years old, and we did a play, a Black History play. And I remember she asked me to read, and my birthday is in February. So I'm thinking maybe she picked me because it was my birthday, but no, she picked me because I was one of the little children, the little Black children that sung that song, that teachers sung, that taught them how to sing the song, and then who will go on and continue it down the line, the generations. So now here I am about 20 years later, and I'm saying the same thing. It's like, yeah, now I understand.
That was inspirational, standing up and singing
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Yes.
We are proud of you. You're going to make the world a better place. You already are.
Yeah.
And Kat, how's the center growing? Can you speak about, give us a sense of how many students are touched
Yeah.
by the work?
Each semester, I want to say we continue to grow because the needs continue to grow, and it's beautiful. It's a challenge at first, but it gives us the opportunity to understand what other needs students need the support with and the help with. Just alone with like the food pantry, the closet itself, case management services, I want to say between 250 unduplicated students are receiving our services. The more that we get the word out, the more I see these numbers growing. Based off the data that we collect, more than 50% of our students reported having food insecurity, and that's just one of the basic needs that they struggle with. So I can anticipate this number jumping to about 50% of our student population at one point once the word continues to grow, once it gets out there, because unfortunately, I don't see these needs going away. The world we live in now can, it's quite difficult to get by. So unfortunately, those challenges will remain, but so will our services. So as long as we're still there to support our students support our students and provide these services, I think it's going to be great.
And then when you think about the students that are benefiting from mental health wellness services, the work they're doing with social work interns, we've invested in mental health professionals, clothing closet, food pantry. Clothing closet, by the way, it's pretty special. I mean, those clothes look like new. They're
They are.
beautiful. Many of them are new, and we thank our partner, Lord Abbott, that actually provided the resources for that beautiful collection of clothing, along with steamers and really nice equipment. In fact, I was missing a tie one day, and I had an interview, so I ran to the clothing closet. So this is really a manifestation of the love that our community has for our students. And I should mention that during the pandemic, our students began to coin the phrase Hudson is home, telling folks that, this isn't just a college where I'm getting a degree. This is a college that cares about me, where I feel like I'm home, a second home, my primary home, where I feel cared about. And so they coined the phrase Hudson is home, which is our tagline now, but I think speaks so nicely in so few words about how we approach education. It's as a community. It's as a community that cares about one another and supports one another. So thank you all for sharing a little bit about Hudson Helps today. We have a tradition in these podcasts. At the end, I always ask my guests if you could describe your Hudson County Community College experience in one word, what word comes to mind? And how about you, Hannah?
Stigma-free.
Stigma-free. How about you, Kat?
Caring.
Caring?
Family.
Stigma-free, caring, family, and my word's always inspirational. Thank you so much, Hannah, Kat, Doreen, for joining us today. And thank you all for joining us for this session of Out of the Box. We hope you'll visit our website, hccc.edu, and share this podcast with your friends and your family. And please stay safe and well. Thank you.